Hi, everybody, and welcome to Alter States with Rachel. And I'm Rachel. So, have y'all missed me? I have missed y'all. I feel like I've been gone forever, forever and ever and ever. But I'm back. So, today, hi, Judy. Hi, Carol. It really is. I really do. I do miss y'all and everything. And then TJ had a competition in Savannah, and I was really planning on how to stay down there. And I was like, man, if I do, when am I going to be back? Can I do the show? Where can I do the show from? So, but yeah, I was pitiful. We took our pop up and we were staying at a campground, and I went in to check out, and evidently there wasn't like a whole lot of pop-ups there, and we were kind of like back in the back because they forgot about us. And there was one pop-up towards the front, little pop-up camper, and they had just got there the night before. And so whenever I said, hey, we're leaving, she just assumed we were the people that had checked in the night before. And she goes, what's wrong? Is everything okay? And I said, no. I said, my husband's making me leave. And she's like, why? And I was like, I don't know. I don't know why he's making us leave. He won't let us stay here. So, but we had been there since Wednesday. So it was so nice. Very, very cool. Hi, Brigitte. Very cool. We went to Fort Pulaski. That place is haunted, just so y'all know. I tested out. It's very haunted. Just the bridge where you walk in over the moat was really kind of weird, but very disorienting. Very cool, though. It's very cool. It's really kind of pretty. I've never really been to a fort like that, how it was like, no joke, a fort, like the square. And it was very architectural pleasing. I don't know how to describe it, but it was very pleasing to like be able to look and see everything and know that everything is kind of confined. I don't know how to describe it. Like if I was a queen, that's how I would have. I don't know. But now that I think about it, I kind of think my house is the same way. I'm not much on a hill, but it is like up, elevated, and I have a fence, and everything is pretty much like I can see everything. So it's like, it feels very, I don't know, maybe I was a queen in a previous life, but it feels very, I don't know, it seemed very calming to be confined, but safe, but still have, I don't know, it felt weird. It felt weird. I felt safe for some reason, besides the snake that was in there, but it's a different story. I am a queen. I'm not gonna tell y'all the queen of what. So how are y'all? How y'all feeling? How y'all doing? How's everybody? All right. Who wants a reading? Who wants to go first? Hi, Mika. Hmm. It's a crap shot. Carol, I was kind of like feeling the same thing. I know, Jennifer, we've talked before about like the energy shifted, but I swear I just felt like, I won't say the energy shifted in the room, but it just really kind of felt weird for a minute. So let's write the time down. That way we can like see if maybe there's a moon that went somewhere it didn't supposed to go, like in Uranus. I wonder if my moon is in somebody's Uranus. I'll write down the time so I can check to see. Yeah, when I grow up, I'm gonna be a comedian. Hello, Kelsey. And no, Kelsey, I do not eat ketchup on my hush puppies. I will dip it in the cocktail sauce, as long as it's got a bunch of horseradish sauce in there. All right, Mika. What do the cards want to tell Mika? What does Mika need to know? Wow, Mika, you got some good energy. It's very heavy. So Mika, I'll just say it's not heavy like in a bad way. It feels heavy and secure. It feels thick. It's just like a milkshake. You know how a milkshake is thick? It's good, So it feels like it's supposed to, but it feels heavy, it feels thick. All right, Mika. So pull 5 cards. The one in the middle that represents you is the Knight of Cups. And we know that Cups is all about emotions. And we know that Knights are showing action. So Mika, obviously you are taking charge about something, okay? And so immediately what I kind of see is, again, I pull 5 cards. This is you in the middle, the Knight of Cups. I got 2 over here and 2 over here. It doesn't feel like a before and after. It doesn't feel like a past and a future. It feels like conflicting energy. It feels like conflicting energy. Okay. So, Mika, you trying to take action. Okay. On one side, you've got the moon, and the moon is major arcana. So, it's about things not seen, and it's not they're not hidden, they're just not out in the light completely. But the cool thing is it's followed by the hermit, and then we know that the hermit is somebody that goes within, they go within darkness, but they're lighting their own path. So it's something about this moon and this hermit being this way shower. So it feels like that you are navigating pretty much like what this feels like it's deep, it feels like it's down, it feels like it's inside. This feels like it is subconscious, like you are going within. You're trying to figure out the what and the why, okay? And on this side, you have the High Priestess and you have the Nine or the Eight of Swords, okay? So the Eight of Swords, this is somebody who's in bondage. They feel trapped. And the High Priestess, the High Priestess, it almost feels like she's feeling trapped. And so the High Priestess here, she's a major arcana, but I love to refer to her as that rigid rituals. So she is very stern, like you do this, you do that, you do this. Like it's very methodical, but that's where her faith lies. Always think of her as like doing the spell work, like you need this and then you need that. And whenever you combine all these underneath the full moon, then you're able to do that. And then me, I'm like, look, you want to do that? You go out, you find a rock and you lick it. Or you can go eat a Hershey bar. Like you can do all these things. It doesn't have to be so rigid. I'm more of the Empress, like, hey, it's okay. Just do this and it'll all work out. That's how I think of like the difference between the High Priestess and the Empress. But the Priestess does. It feels like she found, like she is it feels like this High Priestess energy that she is caught up in her own mental chatter. Am I doing this right? Am I doing it wrong? What am I doing wrong? That there must be something wrong. Um, okay, Mika. So obviously you're doing something, okay? And it feels like there's this cause and effect that you're like, hey, I kind of went within. I'm doing this whole inner child thing. I'm trying to figure out why all this is going on. So obviously on this side, on the outside, because the saying is as above, so below. It's like, okay, I went below and I kind of kicked around some deep, nasty shit and I dealt with it. So up here, it should be going away, but it's not going away, you know and that's how it feels. It feels like, Mika, that you tried to clear some stuff out, or that you are clearing things out, and that it's still kind of congested and it's not moving up top as clear as you want it to move, and that you still feel kind of trapped by it. It really feels like you are still connected to this muck and this dirt on the bottom, that something is still kind of holding you in. And honestly, what it kind of feels like, Mika, is a spiritual bypassing. And I know what people, like people talk about it. And so what it means to me is that it's really cool to go and do ayahuasca, and it's really cool to go do microdosing. And it's like everybody's doing that now because it's so cool. Like, oh, I did this and I did that. But if you're not doing the homework beforehand, and you don't have somebody helping you through while you do it and then helping you afterwards, then all you're doing is just doing this, to me, a spiritual bypass. And you're trying to do the work without doing the work. And you can't do that. You can do that, but you're not doing it, And that's what it feels like. But it doesn't feel like, Mika, that you're doing this on purpose. It feels like, hey, I'm down here. I'm doing this dirty work. Why isn't it not clearing out? That's what it feels like. So it feels like you're still being trapped by it. And so with the moon, things are still, there are things still hidden. And I'm not saying these are things that you don't want to deal with, but it's just like things that it doesn't, part of me say like it doesn't matter. Like stop searching for what is wrong that you have to fix or correct, because that's what it kind of feels like. It feels like you are digging through your pocketbook, or like you're digging through all these things trying to say it must be in here, because if it's not here, then it's got to be in here. And that's not true. It's just could be gone. So Mika, whatever you're searching for, trying to fix, if you can't find it, it might not be there. So don't keep yourself tied down to searching and looking for something that you think is supposed to be there. Okay. So there you go. You keep going. You keep working. You keep being the high priestess, and you know that whatever you're doing is working. And just because you think it's not working, don't keep digging like, oh, it must be there. Mika, you keep staying up top working, and it's all gonna be copacetic. Okay. There you go, Mika. And congratulations on doing work. And congratulations on digging to see if you can find something else, because it's hard to dig. But just don't become OCD or compulsive about it, if that makes sense. So there you go. All righty. Let's see. All right, Carol. Carol. Yeah, Kelsey, that reminds me of like the quarters where they were putting the states on the quarters. That is crazy. But ketchup is a big thing at my house. So, I mean, it's like, if you don't have ketchup, like my husband, he, like, that would be, if we went before the divorce lawyer, he'd be like, Your Honor, she did not keep ketchup in the house. And just like today, ate a hot dog, and I was like, because he doesn't like slaw. And he goes, I know it had slaw on it, and I bet there was no ketchup on it. I'm like, duh, who puts ketchup on a hot dog? Mustard goes on that bitch. Okay, Carol, I'm back to you. Carol. What does Carol need to know? What do the cards want to tell Carol? What do the cards want to tell Carol? Carol, honey, dumpling, sugar pie. What, I won't say what have you done, but what have you done? I'm automatically, Carol, it feels like you had a Band-Aid over a boo-boo, or you had a Band-Aid on something and you ripped it off. That's what it feels like. It feels like you made this decision and you ripped it off, okay? So pull 5 cards. The one in the middle represents the King of Swords. The King of Swords, swords is your thought, your mind, your intellect, is that mental chatter. He's also the truth. So this would be the energy of like a counselor, a lawyer, somebody that you would go to for the truth. That is this. This is the truth, Carol. What this feels like is like you are going, like you are being this decision generator, like yes, no, again, it feels like you ripped that Band-Aid off, and it might have hurt for a second, and it might have tore some skin off, but it's off. It's done, okay? To start off with, we got the Lovers, the major arcana, okay? And so the Lovers, it is 11. No, I'm sorry, it's 6. I'm sorry, I can't add or read. So the Lovers, this is the energy of like, it's passion, but it's also anger, and it's like creativity, but it also feels like decisions, and it feels like yes or no, because it's like duality. It's good, bad, it's male, female, yes or no. It feels like that. And that's what the Lovers feels like, that it feels like decisions, yes or no, yes or no. Let's do it. Got to do something. We can't hang out here in the middle. Got to decide, okay? And then it is followed by the Page of Swords, okay? So pages, this is a plan. Like, hey, let's do this. It's a plan of action. So again, like, hey, this is my plan. This is what I'm gonna do, and it's followed by the King of Swords. Yes, yes, no. Yes, yes, no. And then you got this guy right here. He's a Five of Swords. So five is all like about that change. It's evaluation. Hey, do I need to do this? Do I not? Yes or no? That's what it feels like. It just feels like bam, bam, bam. It just feels like fast moving energy, like you were cutting through, or it's like chunking or staying, it just feels like you were just like flying right through it. Okay. So the Five of Swords, this is like winning by default, no opposition. And, you know, this card is like winning by default, there's no opposition, but it's like, how can they fight you when you have their swords? That's what I literally saw. How can they fight you if you have their swords? So it's like you took their ammunition, you took their weapons, you took something, but it doesn't feel like you took it from them. It's like maybe if you didn't give them a chance, like you didn't give them something about this decision, like you didn't give them the opportunity. It's like how when people will talk about you, like if you go to a party, people will talk about you. Well, people are going to talk about you if you show up at the party. So it's like you don't go to the party, so you don't give them nothing to talk about. It kind of feels like that. Like you didn't give them something to fight with. And I don't know how to verbalize that, but you didn't give them the ammunition. You didn't give them the weapons to fight. And it's not like you took it from them. They didn't have it to start with. That's what that feels like. Then you got this lovely card. It's the Tower, okay? And we know that Tower is just clearing the way. And I know, like, people's like, oh, the Tower. But this feels like, oh, it's the Tower. It's the Tower. And it literally feels like the Tower. I don't know how to describe it. It feels like big energy. It feels like explosive energy. That's how it feels. This does not feel bad. This doesn't feel like something's fixing going to happen to you. It feels like explosive but good. It feels like it's a big. This feels like a moment that everybody's going to talk about. So I don't know what this is. But again, Carol, it feels like you are making decisions right and left. You know what you want. You got your truth. You're standing in your truth, and you're moving forward. And that you are creating tower moments for a lot of people. And I mean, that's not being bad, but it's like, what's the saying, that lack of planning on your part does not create or constitute an emergency on my part. That's how this kind of feels. So it feels like you're moving through this and people are freaking out and they don't know what to do. So it's creating tower moments for them, and that's completely okay, because it just feels like fast moving energy, and that's what needs to be done. So good job to you, Carol. Good job to you. Yeah, it feels very focused. It feels very laser oriented. It feels like that is where I want to go. That's where I'm going. And I'm going a straight line. I'm not going around this way. I'm not going around that way. I'm going straight line. Like that is a crow mile. That is how the crow flies. We are not going by Rachel directions, okay? We're going straight there. Okay, Meg. What does Meg need to know? Carol, that is some really good energy. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to think about you tonight. Like, this is some Carol energy. I'm getting some shit done. I'm not even going to share all my thoughts. Okay, Meg. Okay. Meg. Where's I need to obsidian in my third eye. I need to get straight. Okay. I need to pull in that Carol energy and get straight. That way I can do Meg's reading. Okay. Meg. What does Meg need to know? What do the cards want to tell Meg? The energy I was talking about, saying, oh, it feels like it's changed, that is Carol energy. She ain't playing. She is riding behind us like the popo. And everybody is like putting their seatbelts on, praying, trying to figure out where the insurance card is, turn the radio down, acting right. That's Carol energy. Like, y'all get out of the way. I'm going. She's on fire. Okay, back to Meg. All right, Carol, get out of my head. Meg. What does Meg need to know? What does Meg need to know? Meg, I feel like this is going to be health related, okay? Because I was just saying, I felt like a lot of things about, like, I started thinking about my health or like health. So I wonder, so this is going to be health related, health, Meg. And again, whenever I do readings, tarot doesn't dictate, you do. It's just tarot. But whenever I do readings, it's about now. So it's not like in 4 or 5 months you're going to have this big health episode. Like, this is something that you're going through. So it either resonates with you or it's not. Okay. So Meg, health. Okay. Okay. So Meg, the card that represents you right now and the energy that you're in is the Ten of Swords. So the Ten of Swords, we know that, swords is your thought, your mind, your intellect, that anxiety, that mental challenge. And so I'm getting a lot of anxiety and the 10 is like, no joke. Like, this ain't no joke. This is serious. This is like, it is the highest of the highest. So this is the highest of the highest, Meg. Okay. Okay. So we got the 10 of Cups, joy on the home front. We got the Two of Wands. Wands is, it's fire energy. This is all about like contemplating your choices. What do I do? Okay. Then high anxiety. And then it's followed by the Nine of Swords, keeping you up, literally keeping you up. And then it is followed by the Six of Pentacles. And this is about giving and receiving. Okay. So, Meg, unlike Carol, where her path is straight and forward and like straight, it feels like you are zigzagging, but it's like you have no choice to zigzag. I mean, you do have a choice, because I can hear Jennifer say, no, you always got a choice, but it feels like you don't. And so I'm just trying to figure out what you're navigating. And it feels like you very much want to get to the end, but you're having to navigate all these little like landmines. And it's just taking you from one extreme to the other, and that is creating this anxiety. And it feels like it literally feels like it is you versus the masses. It feels like you versus the family. And it feels like you are navigating between what works for them and what works for you. And honestly, I don't really think about for Meg right now, I don't think the answer is about the destination. I think it's about the journey. So I think with you, even though you want to get to the end, you're not going to get to the end anytime soon, because that's not the point. The point is you zigzagging between your family and your needs. And so where this anxiety is, this is how you get to play. And the really cool thing is you have instant feedback. So I don't know if you're like an empath and you're trying to put up these boundaries and these blocks so you don't feel your family stuff, like if you're trying to balance in between all this, but it feels like that you can use this opportunity for instant feedback of if this is working for if this is working. You know it's not working because you're still having this anxiety, so you got to do something else. And that's the way you should look at it. Don't look at it like, oh, I'm never going to learn, or things aren't going right, or I'm never going to be where I need I'm going to be. It's just like I literally feel like a pinball in a pinball machine, like I'm going back and forth, and every time that I hit something, it's like this loud ding and everybody knows. That's how it feels. I literally feel like I'm in a pinball machine, and every time I either make a mistake, everything goes off and everybody knows, or anytime I hit the side of a wall because I'm banging my head on the wall, everybody knows. That's how it feels. So it's like, Meg, this anxiety, use keep changing whatever protocol, keep changing whatever you're doing, because you're having instant feedback whether it works or not. And what worked yesterday might not work today. And something simple, something simple might be the answer. And I'm trying to think of what it is, Meg, and I think that is the answer, that you're focused on the destination and the destination isn't the answer. That whenever you kind of stand in gratitude, like, oh, I'm having all this anxiety about my family and me, navigating between both of them. If I will just kind of learn to stand in gratitude and realize, hey, this is instant feedback. I know what's working, what's not working. I'm not having to wait 5 years to see if this works. And whenever you do that, it's like you kind of like remove yourself from it, and it's like it somehow fixes it. So there you go, Meg. Thank you. Thank you for that, Meg, because trust me, I'm right there with you, okay? Right, all right, all right, all right. All right, Judy. Judy. What does Judy need to know? Judy, I started saying, what does Judy need to know? And immediately my left ear started hurting. So, Judy, I don't know if you're having problems with your left ear. Again, these aren't things that's going to pop up. I think this is just validation. Okay. Um, but yeah, my left ear started hurting. All right. What does Judy need to know? What do the cards want to tell Judy? Judy. Well, Judy, darling. Pull 5 cards. The one that represents you is the King of Swords, okay? The other really cool about this is that you've got the Queen of Swords right beside you. So you have this matched pair, okay? So the sword energy. sword is air, it's fast moving energy, okay? It's your thoughts, your mind, your intellect. And so with the swords, this is clear boundaries, and this is the power and the truth. So whenever I see these together in a matched pair, to me, Judy, this is like, um, I won't say that this was an I will say, okay, it is. That's exactly what it is. It's an obstacle that you overcome, and I honestly feel like it's speaking your truth. It's your boundaries. It's your limits, because the first card is the seven, and it's major arcana, and so this is all about like your path, your destination, your vehicle. It's about you choosing to go this way. It's literally your path, your journey. And what you have overcome is kind of like yourself. And it's not that yourself was bad, but I think just like how I was talking about with Meg, how she was having to zigzag between her family and her, to make everything worth, it feels like you were pulled in between these two, the same, not the same two things, but these two things, and you overcame that, you learned that, and that now you've got this whole energy down. It's like you completed. It's like you've got 2 stars, like a check mark, like you're done, like you've learned about this. Of course, we know that like you don't always learn, like you're gonna get another lesson, but it just feels like you mastered that lesson. Okay, so good for you. Then it is followed by another major arcana of the star. And so whenever I see star, I think of illumination. Of course, it's a major arcana. I think of consciousness. They have the 7 stars, and it's like um, chakras. So this is all about like consciousness. And of course, with the chakras, I think of the subtle body. So it's like your aura. It is, your energy, your prana, your life's energy. It's everything. It has to do with your subtle bodies, your pain body, your emotion body, your mental body, your physical body, like all these underlying connecting things that you don't know about, that Judy, I'm wondering if you had like an autoimmune thing, or a nerve type issue. And again, whenever I'm doing these readings, I'm not saying that you have this, like, it's something that you're going presented with. I'm just wondering if like you already have like this is heavy inflammation, or this is just like an autoimmune, like something isn't connecting in your body. Because what this feels like, Judy, this feels like this is emotions that were trapped in your body, creating havoc. And you learned how to deal with all that. And by you learning how to manage your stress, your anxiety, and by doing all these things, these symptoms have kind of went away, because we are connected, mind, body, and spirit. And they're on, it's like all levels. And it feels like once you started dealing with the stress, the inflammation went away. Once you started dealing with avoiding things, then, decisions, like the fatigue went away, like all these things started to like go away. And the last card is a 9 of Swords. And so normally this is like the card of being awake, but it doesn't feel like oh, these things keep me up at night. It feels like you have become awakened to how this all works, how your energy body works. And it kind of feels like it's liberating, because you realized, hey, whatever's going on is not permanent, and it's all correctable, and it is all fixable, and all the answers lies within me. So that's how that feels, Judy. And I want to say congratulations to you, and I want to say welcome to your new life. That's how it kind of feels. It feels very empowering. It feels like you have found the answers, and it's not, that's just what it feels like. It feels like you have got the answers now, and all these symptoms might not be gone, but it feels like you're in the process of clearing them out. And then it's like it gives you this sense of control, like, hey, I'm in control. and it's empowering to you because it's not going to be forever. You know, it's not, it just, I don't know, it just feels like you mastered this lesson and you just learned it. And just like you're moving forward, and it feels very empowering, and it just feels like, oh my gosh, it feels very empowering. So there you go, Judy, and welcome. Welcome to your new life, because it really does feel like a new part. It feels like a new chapter, a new part. It feels like a new you. Sorry if I'm speaking very fast, y'all. I don't know what the deal is. It's not me. It's y'all. Hi, Zelda. You sure can. What does Zelda need to know? What does Zelda need to know? What are the cards want to tell Zelda? Zelda, Zelda, Zelda. So Zelda, whenever I said what do what do the cards want to tell you, I heard the word car. So I'm wondering what you got going on transportation wise. Let's see. What does Zelda need to know? And again, whenever I'm doing these readings, these aren't things that's going to pop up in a week or two. These are issues that these are like current issues. These are current struggles. So don't think, oh, so don't be thinking like, oh, my car's going to break down. Don't think that. This is like an issue that you would already be dealing with, but it feels like it's related to your car, okay? So if it's not your car, then it is something transportation, or it's somebody else's car, but it feels like it is car related, okay? Don't make it fit, you know? And so as I'm shuffling these cards, there seems to be one. It's not the same particular one, but it keeps jumping and moving. So I'm wondering, Zelda, if you're having car issues, like it won't start, or it's not keeping time, like it's not keeping time, because that's what the card kept doing. It kept jumping, and I kept thinking of like jumping time, like okay, Zelda. Pull 5 cards. The one in the middle that represents you right now is the Knight of Pentacles. So Knights like show action. They're doing it, okay? Pentacles is security, material issues, money, and wealth. This is old money. This is foundation money. It's like big money, that kind of stuff. But Pentacles, this is humble. This is earth energy, you know? It's that. So this is the energy of like hard work. It's conservative. It's showing up, doing the same thing over and over and over, but knowing it's for the greater good. It's that type of energy, okay? Then what starts this reading off is the major arcana of the death. And we know that death is just all about change. It's just transitioning, moving from one existence. Well, I don't even want to say existence, because it's not like a literal death or physical death. It's just change. That's all it is. That's all it is, okay? So the next card is the Three of Pentacles. So the Three of Pentacles, this is all about, it's kind of like being a good leader, showing up, doing good. So, Zelda, this card shows, the people and they're getting a lecture, but they're inside. They're inside, And so it's something about not being seen. And it's not that they're hiding, but it feels like something that is being seen, something that is being like done in secrecy. Um, Zelda, I'm wondering like if you're taking a class that nobody knows about, like, I mean, this isn't like a bad thing as far as secrecy, like, oh, somebody is cheating. This feels like you're doing like something is being kept, on the lowdown, like it's kept hidden, but it feels like a class, like you're doing some sort of advancement to further your knowledge, but you haven't told everybody, or you haven't told anybody, that you're just kind of like keeping it to yourself, or you're doing it like at your own pace. It feels like that, okay? Again, taking the action, moving forward, um, being consistent, doing the same thing over and over and over, because you know that, um, I swear what this feels like is like mutual bonds, like it's very low risk, but you keep showing up doing low risk thing and you're moving forward. That's how it feels. You feel like a mutual bond. Crazy. And then it is followed by the Two of Pentacles. Again with this pentacle energy, but it feels like that you are creating this foundation, that you're creating this legacy, that you are creating this, like, I don't know, it feels like you are creating opportunity for you, but you're creating opportunity like down the line. And so here are the Two of Pentacles. This is just about balance, and it's not really like a struggle, it's just balancing, okay? And then it is followed by this guy, the Tower. Okay, so the Tower is basically what it looks like. It looks like purification by fire. This really does feel like a trial. It doesn't feel bad. It feels like a trial. It feels like a test. And that's exactly like what kind of this feels like, Zelda. It feels like you are, I won't say being given a test, but that's what it feels like. It feels very much like you're being tested. And I won't say this is like a physical test. This feels like a spiritual test. And it's not like a teasing you test. It feels just kind of like maybe not like a test, but like a completion. Like you're doing it now. Now you're gonna have like a chapter test. And well, whenever I was saying, what does the car have to do with this? What does the car mean? So I'm wondering if what you're doing is like working towards your car. I don't know if you have a dream car, and you have like literally been putting like $2 aside every week, or like, like you're it just feels like, as much as this is this spiritual test, and you're doing all these things that nobody really knows about, but then there's something about this car, but it feels like that car is pleasurable. So I don't know what that means. What does that mean? It just feels, Zelda, I just say, it just feels like you're just doing this. I don't know. It feels like you're playing it. Maybe that's what it is, because it feels like mutual bonds. It feels like you're being very conservative. You're playing it safe. You're doing this low key thing where nobody knows about, but it's for your advancement. However, on the side, you're saving for like this convertible, or you're saving for like something, the biggest, flashiest car. Like it's this red convertible, or it's solid black with chrome. Holla. Can you tell my favorite color is black and chrome? It just feels like on this hand you were very doing, repetitive, like doing it, conservative, not telling anything about it, and getting it done because you're doing it for like the greater good, or like a family type deal, like with it for a purpose. But on the other hand, Zelda, you are putting some money to the side because that is Zelda money. That is going to be your car. Like it's going to be the fastest. It's going to be the loudest. Like, and you're going to have a vanity plate. It just feels like that. So there you go, Zelda. I think this is just validation of you having that balance between yourself and for others. I can't wait to see what you get, or I can't wait to see what that car means. I don't know if maybe that car, I don't know. Maybe it's like that car is like your wildest dreams, but it feels like something very foreign to you, like you're gonna get it. You're gonna, like that doesn't feel foreign. It feels like not everybody would think that that was a car that Zelda wanted, but you're saving for it. Very cool. I'm excited to hear if what's going on with that. Oh, what's going on with this right here? All right, KJ, you have an energy change. You're getting a lot done. You feel blessed, not a complaint, just grateful. Even the strawberries are perfect. Is there anything that you should know? Let's see. What is KJ? Is there anything that KJ should know? Is there anything the cards want? What do the cards want to tell KJ? What do the cards want to tell KJ? Okay, KJ, pull 5 cards. The one that represents you is the Ten of Swords. So this energy is like complete, I won't say desperation, but it's like you are done. It's the energy of like overwhelmed. It is the energy of illness of oneself, but it's just like that's the energy. But the energy that is surrounding you is this really like beautiful energy. Here you've got the Three of Cups. So this is party, this is celebration, it's support group. And then it's followed by the King of Wands. And so anytime I see the King of Wands, I think of like the higher chakras. So I'm thinking of like the third eye, the throat chakra, the crown chakra. So it's like definitely that higher body, that higherness of connection. And then you've got the Empress, and you've got the High Priestess. And I was talking about them earlier, and it's like this balance of like being very come see, come saw, and then the High Priestess of no. You need to count how many tears of children you put in that cauldron. Because if there's not 7.5 tears in there, then our spell won't work. That's how like the High Priestess is. Like, I think of her doing spell work, and she's exact. Like she has to have exact measurements with on a full moon with, like it's just exact. And the Empress is like, if you really want this, you have to lick that rock. Because if I was telling somebody to do something, that's what I would do. But I would know that was like their favorite rock. or I'd be like, okay, if you want this to happen, you need to go eat strawberry ice cream. And they'd be like, what? Just so happens I have strawberry ice cream. I'm like, yeah, because I know strawberry's your favorite. So it feels like that, it feels like this balance. Um, so what does this mean for KJ? Honestly, what it feels like, KJ, is that even though this is the Ten of Swords, like you're pinned down, you're done, like you were done, like there's nothing else. But it feels like this energy brought you to this beautiful energy. Again, whenever I was talking about, it's not so much about destination, it's about the journey to get there. And I know we say that over and over and over, but it's like if you didn't have this journey, then you wouldn't have this beautiful destination. You wouldn't have, um, this support group. You wouldn't have all these beautiful people around you. You wouldn't have learned, you know, that good stuff, that higher stuff, which the lower stuff too, the root, sacral, and solar plexus, that's just as good. But it's like it really firmed up your connection, and then you wouldn't learn this. And even though I was making fun of the high priestess, with the 7 3/4 tears of children, she's still magical. You know, it's just I imagine her being a Virgo, very spreadsheet, being very analytical, and then this one be like, let's plant flowers, let's make our love grow, you know so it's like these are still, beautiful energies, but it's kind of like I think that you have like you're not it's like you feel like you're not striving to be one or the other, that you realize that you're both. That's how it kind of feels. um that's what it feels like. And it feels like there's this balance between, it feels like there's this balance. And I know there's a lot of talk right now about like the divine masculine and, the feminine, and there should always be a balance, and we'll all be a masculine energy and will always be a feminine energy. And it's like this little magical dance where one and the other, and it's just like they kind of complement and they swirl with one another. And then, then when they combine, they create this unity. And because that's just what polarity and duality is. And that's what this kind of feels like, that you have the Empress energy and you've got the High Priestess energy, and you realize that it's not one or the other. It's they kind of like are swirling and they're doing this magic dance. And then by doing this magic dance, they've created this thing called KJ. And this has just been created because, this is where you were. And I will say this, it's not done, it's not over. It's not done and it's not over. Like you're going to have more time to, do this magic dance. But it's because of where you are with this, that you feel the love and have this higher expression of, faith and your higher consciousness. And then like you have this expression of this magical, like weaver, like this magic dancer. That's what it feels like. It feels very hypnotic. It feels very like magic and swirling and just like this combination. It's like, whenever you have like a coffee and, like you mix like it's a dark coffee, like an espresso, and you mix this cream in it, and it's like the cream doesn't mix, but then there's like this beautiful blend or this beautiful mix, and it's like that is the art. That's the beauty, because they're complementary. It's not the overpowering of espresso, and it's not it's not the richness of the cream. It's that combination that makes that drink so yummy. And it really does feel yummy. So, KJ, I don't think there is anything that you need to know besides keep being in that flow, keep being in that yumminess of the Empress and the High Priestess, because it is creating this magic. So there you go. It's like the magic of life and the beauty of life. Very cool. And I want to say that's probably the first time I ever had the Empress and the High Priestess together like that. And I love that because I do love them, even though like the High Priestess is probably a Virgo and she's probably organized. All right, Brigitte. Oh, Miranda, I should be a movie star. Sound like you're trying to suck up. What kind of movie star should I be? Should I be Lassie? Is Timmy in trouble? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. That's my mama. I can give her a hard time. Oh, Miranda, are you saying we should be Mommy Dearest and you beat me with a coat hanger? Oh, that's even funnier because my mama can't beat nothing. She is my mama. I won't say my mama wasn't a good parent. She wasn't a discipline. She wasn't a disciplinary planet. She was not a disciplinary parent. She was not the stern one. Oh, that was just so funny. Somebody was talking about siblings fighting growing up, and Todd said, "Did you and Philip fight?" And I said, "All the time." And I said, "My favorite things was whenever we used to gang up on Mama." And then I was thinking about one time we were walking to the grocery store, and Philip and I both had like perfume bottle spray. And every time Mama would walk, we would just squirt her, and she would turn around. I don't know if you remember that, but yeah, it was funny. And of course, she'd say, "You're gonna get in trouble whenever y'all get home." We never got in trouble. Okay, Brigitte. What does Brigitte need to know? But thank you, Mama. I should be a movie star. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Talking about my pop-up, I told Todd, because your vehicles and things are supposed to have a name, and I told Todd, I said we should name the pop-up some sort of turtle because we take her home with us everywhere we go, and he didn't think that was funny. But he doesn't have a sense of humor, so of course he wouldn't think it's funny. He probably wanted to name it something like the Titanic, something like big and regal, and I'm like trying to name it a turtle. Okay, Brigitte. What does Brigitte need to know? What does Brigitte need to know? What does Brigitte need to know? All right, Brigitte, I pulled 5 cards. The one in the middle that represents you, and this is the Page of Swords. So we know that swords is your thought, your mind, your intellect. And the page, so he is like searching for information, okay? It can also be like the energy of like spine, but it doesn't feel like spine. It feels like you're just searching for information, okay? So it could be just searching for something, which makes sense because the first card is Major Arcana of the Moon, right? And so the moon, this is the energy of like the mystery of the beauty of mystery, like things that aren't seen, you know. And it's just like, it doesn't mean that they're not there. And I know I've probably said this 500 times, but it's like, and I'm sure for Brigitte, whenever you look out, like you know what's in your yard, but it looks totally different in the dark, right? And it does. It has a different beauty to it because it's like it's just a different light that is cast on it. There's still light that's casted on it, but it's different and it creates a different kind of beauty. So it's like seeing the beauty in things different, okay? Then it is followed by another major arcana, the Fool. And so the Fool is all about new beginnings and it's about starting this new adventure. Again, back to searching for information. And again, the reason why I'm saying that the Page of Swords doesn't feel like it's a spying card, it's just searching for information, because they're side by side and they're both looking in the same direction. So it just feels like this searching for information. You're searching on like, what can I do next? Like, where do I go? But it feels good, okay? It doesn't feel like, oh my God, what do I do? What do I do? It feels like, where can I go? What can I do? That's how it feels, like you're researching, okay? And then it is followed by this lovely card, the Ace of Pentacles. And again, this is the miracle card to me. It is aces are new beginnings, and pentacles is that earth energy, very humble, very earth. It's like I don't know, it's just like the most basic, most beautiful energy there is, because it is everything, and that's why I say, like, I see this as a miracle card. So anything that you truly wish, that like what you want, like your heart's desire, like this is a heart's desire card, because it's coming from like a beautiful place. You know, you're not wanting riches, you're wanting real riches. You know. Then it is followed by the Two of Cups, and cups are emotions, feelings, and perceptions. So this is all about like an exchange of ideas. Um, Who is this exchange of ideas with? So I asked, who is this exchange of ideas with? And clarity came out. It's followed by the Three of Cups. How is this clarity? So, well, how it's clarity in Rachel's mind is the three is all about the Trinity. So what this feels like is this is exchange of ideas between you and your higher self, okay? So there you go, Brigitte. It feels like you were on this new journey, this new beginning, and it's between you and your higher self. I don't know it. I mean, I know that sounds simple, but it sounds like this new. It sounds like, honestly, what it sounds like is like what I talk about. How I say, if this is what you want to do, sit down, meditate, start talking to your guides, and say, hey, this is the direction I want to go in. This is for my higher purpose. It's for my highest good, because I'm asking, to be aligned with that. I don't know how I'm going to get there. I don't know who's going to help me or how I'm going to get there. Can I have a guide specifically for that journey? That's what this feels like. It feels like this new journey is definitely aligned with your highest self and the highest good of others. So that's what this new beginning feels like. And it feels like there is beauty in the mystery, because you're open to every and anything. Um, and you know that you don't have to know everything. You don't have to see everything, because you know that it's there. All right. That is really beautiful, Brigitte. Really is. All righty. Well, so Thank y'all for coming and hanging out with me. I have missed y'all, and I do think about y'all. And Kelsey, see, you have went from being on a, you have went from like me making fun of you to now every time I eat a hush puppy, I'm gonna think of you, Kelsey, because I don't know why they're putting all this stuff on ketchup packs, but hey, Taco Bell, they had little inspiration things on their sauce packs, so why not with the ketchup packs? But I love y'all. I appreciate y'all coming and hanging out. I appreciate this share of energy, and I love seeing an exchange. And y'all welcome everybody because we do need to feel welcomed and loved. Okay, but Jennifer will be on tomorrow, so I'll see y'all then. Bye, guys.